Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a beautiful morning, man. For coffee and sports this morning. I got three of my favorite guys out here, man. Got Gene this morning, man. Gene, how you doing, brother?
Fired up. I'm phenomenal. I think that we are a group of overreactionary people, and the overreactions consistently keep happening, but we'll talk about it.
Let's do Mo. What's up, brother? How was your weekend, man?
It was interesting, as always. So I never got nothing to complain. I'm blessed.
Will, what's up, my man? How we doing this morning?
Doing good, doing good. Damn, Knicks won. That just messed me up yesterday.
I mean, do you really want to sweep, though? If that's what you want? Do you hate them that much that you don't want good basketball?
Yeah, I want good basketball, but man, does it always have to equal to them winning?
that series has been everything.
It has. It has. It's been a great story. It's been a great
All right, so let's get straight to it, man. We got a special guest today, man. So I'm gonna give Gene the floor, man. So we gonna start with the Knicks losing home court advantage, man. I think Cat and Brunson, man, they went off the first two games, man. I seen that, but this game, the bench stepped in for him. Brunson was in foul trouble, man. Now the series is tied 2-1. You know, Gene, talk to me about this series, man.
So I said Knicks in 7 before the series started. And a lot of people are like Knicks in 6, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 7. A couple people had the Pacers. Not many people had the Pacers, but a couple people had the Pacers. Then after game 1 gets lost, it's like, oh, the Pacers might sweep them. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if you look at this series and you look at the situation that happened in game 1, and that, like, ridiculous comeback doesn't happen, it's 2-1 Knicks, and we all think Knicks in 5 or 6 after the Knicks take home court advantage from Indiana.
Just ask this. It didn't look sweepish, Gene. It was getting.
No, it didn't look sweepish at all. When you watch those teams play basketball, you think that one team's 4 games better than the other?
As far as defensively, I see the Pacers. They've been on the roll, man. Like, I don't know. Like, Halliburton has been coming up big for the Pacers. Like, people been sleeping on this man, but he looking like Mr. Underrated, like Brock Purdy. He's stepping up.
You go with that Brock Purdy stuff already.
It's too early, Carmack.
I look at this series and I say exactly what I thought it was going to be. A bunch of back and forth games, great basketball games, like the most entertaining series to watch. The Knicks lose 2 at home. Listen, I predicted the Knicks will win game 3 in Indiana. I think that the Knicks will win game 4 in Indiana. I think it's the Knicks in 7. Now, look, if they lose game 4, I think they win game 5, and then game 6 is they got to win 4 or 6, obviously. They got to win 4 or 6. And that's obvious, right? They're down 2-1. They can't lose both of them. But, like, I think they win 5 in New York, and I think that it comes down to game 7. And do I think the Pacers can win in 7? Absolutely. It's a great series. If Naismith and Nembhard keep playing the way they've been playing in this series, they can definitely win the series. I like the adjustment that the Knicks made yesterday. Josh Hart had a little bit more coming off the bench yesterday. I felt like it wasn't, to me, the Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup. It started them well with the pick and rolls and being able to use him, but it was more of what Josh Hart gave you down the stretch and what Josh Hart gave you on the rebounding end. Like, hey, remember why you're in the game, Josh. You're in the game to offensive rebound. You're in the game to give us that gritty minutes. And if you're not going to give us those minutes, you can sit your ass on the bench. We're not going to do this.
So let's swing at some other places. Mo, come on, man. Do you see this series turning out the way it's turning out?
I thought it was a 7-game series before we even got into this. The first 2 games, it disappointed me. I don't look at Indiana as a world beater team. I don't. I think they're a good team, but I still think this is a 7-game series. And look, for the first time in a long time, Nembhard and Naismith didn't shoot the cover off the ball. They didn't. They struggled making shots. Siakam was okay, but he wasn't great. Like, the Knicks defense turned it up a notch, more importantly. And what I thought was they changed the pace of the game. The Pacers weren't getting out and running. They were walking it up, and they can score in the half court, but that's not their strength. That's not what they're about. When you make Halliburton a half court player, he's a different player. And when he can't get that mismatch, when his original defender is still on him, he's a different player. So I'm not surprised. I'm just impressed that Tom Thibodeau made an adjustment. I'm not used to that from Tom Thibodeau. So you know what? Kudos to him. Maybe what happened was Rick Carlisle's made him step his game up. If he recognizes the matchups that are out there on the floor and he makes adjustments, the Knicks are going to be fine. I still think it's a 7-game series. I still think the Knicks are going to win.
Will, talk to me about the Knicks Pacers, man.
I thought yesterday, and Mo was right, the Pacers shot 5 for 25 from 3 yesterday, and they ended up missing 6 free throws. So when you play like that, you ain't going to win the game. You're not going to win the basketball game. I like the energy that Karl-Anthony Towns gave you yesterday. Josh Hart gave you 10 rebounds in 34 minutes. So he did his job off the bench. That was a great game from the Knicks yesterday, a game that's much needed. And I agree with these gentlemen. I do believe that this will be a 7-game series.
So I want to talk about whoever comes out these last 4 teams going into the NBA Finals and they win the championship. Whose stock rises as a player? Halliburton, Edwards, SGA, or Brunson? Will, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm going with Halliburton. If they make it out with as much disrespect as this guy has gotten through not only just the fans but other players in the league, I think his stock rises if he can make the NBA Finals.
I mean, win it.
Oh,
win
the NBA Finals? Yeah, if they win the Finals, Halliburton's stock rises.
So he's gonna be on the level with SGA, Edwards, and
I think his stock rises because he wins a ring.
Gene, how you feel about this, man? Who's
the
stock?
easiest question. I'm sorry, Mo. It's a very easy question for me, and I feel like I'm gonna steal Mo's answer. The league is already ready to anoint Anthony Edwards. Are you gonna give him a championship? Come on, man! Like if Anthony Edwards figures out a way to win the NBA Finals, they will put him on the 2K cover. He'll be everywhere. Anthony Edwards will be like, oh, it's Jordan and Anthony Edwards. He might be a top 15 player of all time.
Right.
Like, obviously, I don't agree with that, but you're talking about whose stock's going to rise. If the Minnesota Timberwolves win the NBA Finals, Anthony Edwards is going to be on that Dogecoin vibe. To the moon.
Mo, whose stock rises more?
It's Ant. Gene did take it's Ant. It's gonna by a mile. It's Ant. Like Ant is gonna be the first NBA player to be on the cover of Madden. That's how far his stock's going to rise. Like
don't do that to that man, Mo.
They've got it primed for him. They want that. Now they can't say that, but they out and out the NBA and the powers that be want that. I think Halliburton's a really good player, and I disagree with the notion that fans underrate him. I look, the players say he was overrated. That's his peers. I know what kind of player he is. I think he's a really good player. If I don't think he's a superstar, then I guess I'm in line with people who criticize him. I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's a terrific player, and I don't think he's underrated. He's really good. He's an all-star. I don't know what else to say. What I'm not going to do is label him a superstar. I'm not doing that. I think we throw that word out there way too much. He's a really good player, and he orchestrates that offense to perfection most nights.
Has Halliburton not been coming up big for the Pacers in clutch moments this playoffs?
Yes, but I want to remind people there's your body of work, and then there's a run. Because if we're gonna go on coming up big. Trey Young came up big a few years back and took his team to the conference finals. We haven't seen him sniff anything since then. So there's a difference between there's your body of work and then there's a run. This is a run. This isn't his body of work.
So let's get straight into it, man. I'm gonna stick with you, Mo. I'm gonna start here. Mo, Tyrese Halliburton, or Trey Young?
I'm going to take Halliburton, but that's easy because I'll be honest, I'm not a big Trey Young fan.
No, I'll talk about, as a player, who are you going with, man? You going not just because you don't like the player. Let's be honest.
I think Halliburton is a better basketball player. even though by far Trae Young's a better scorer, Halliburton's a better basketball player. How about that?
Will, who you going with?
Halliburton. That's
Gene.
easy for me.
Next question. This is too easy.
Halliburton.
Gene,
not a
James
comparison.
James Harden or Halliburton?
I'll take Halliburton.
Will,
Halliburton.
Mo.
Well, I mean, if we're dealing with the current version of James Harden, I'm going to take Halliburton. He's
Alright,
30. He's 35.
easy.
I mean, I'm just saying it.
I mean, what version would you take? Rocket's version over him?
Of course, I would take Rockets version.
Yeah, I would.
But Rocket's version is better than him by a mile. You're getting caught up in team success, but he was still the better player by a mile.
Yeah, but he couldn't carry his team in the playoffs.
He's not carrying his team. His team is a really well balanced team. He's not carrying his team.
Yeah,
what he's had is he's had some really big moments, but he hasn't carried his team.
All right, so James Harden wasn't having a good season this year.
He had a good year, but you talk the version of him today. I don't even think he should have made the All NBA team. So you know what I mean? Like I'm that's me.
Nobody
That's me.
said it but me. Thank you.
That's me. Yeah.
Will, Baron Davis, Tyrese Halliburton.
Really?
Yeah,
I got Baron.
you got Baron.
Talking about Baron Davis prime, like prime.
You talking about prime Baron Davis?
It's not
Baron
even
Davis,
it's
right?
not even
Prime.
close. It's Baron Davis.
Prime.
Baron
Baron
Davis.
Davis.
Cool.
Simple.
Kevin Johnson from the Suns.
Kevin
Gene.
Johnson.
Kevin
I think
Johnson
KJ.
all day
Kevin
long.
over Halliburton.
We doing
Johnson
too
all
much
day
this
long.
morning. We doing too much. This
I'm
morning.
taking
Kevin
KJ.
that team
All
wouldn't
right.
I know.
wouldn't be what he were without
Your
Kevin Johnson.
next comparison should be John Crotty or
No, my next comparison is Sam Cassell or Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I'll take a Halliburton or
I
Cassell.
think Halliburton too. I think Sam Cassell was for the most part a really good role player kind of guy.
Yeah.
All of them very good for Sam
have the
Cassell.
greatest, he does have the greatest rap bar of all time, though. I'll make blocks like Milwaukee because, like Sam, I could sell.
Hey,
The greatest rap bar of all time.
I'll take Halliburton in this situation, but I think Sam was very, very good.
What about Jameson Williams, White Chocolate, or Halliburton?
Jason
Halliburton.
Williams?
Come on, man.
Come on,
that's
man.
a horrible comparison because that's
Come on, man.
Talk about the most overrated, overhyped player ever.
He
Garbage.
threw a ball off his elbow, Mo. That's
Garbage.
gotta be the greatest of all time.
And-
He threw a ball off his elbow. Yeah, right. It's Halliburton. Come on, man.
Yeah, Halliburton all day.
Okay, let's go with Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey
I'm
Billups.
taking
taking
Billups.
Chauncey.
Taking Billups.
I'm taking
Better.
Chauncey in that
He's
case.
a better player. Clutch.
Yep.
Damon Stoudemire, Halliburton.
I'm taking Halliburton.
Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton. Halliburton.
Stoudemire was nice for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Brandon Jennings, Halliburton.
I'm taking
Halliburton.
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 Now you're making it easy.
Yeah. Brandon Jennings had 155-point game and thought he arrived.
Damn.
It's the truth.
And
Okay.
he still talks about it on the show that he's on. He talks about it constantly.
My
He's saying
last
he's a better basketball player than Drew Holiday. I'm like, maybe
got a
it's
podcast
scoring. Maybe it's just scoring. You might have been a better scorer than Drew Holiday.
Right.
Drew Holiday does every single thing on the basketball court better than Brandon
Drew,
Jennings.
when he played for your Sixers, Gene, he was a scorer. He was getting buckets, man.
He was a scorer because it was the process, and he needed to score. It was him scoring, or we had a bunch of like guys that been scoring the G
That's a
League.
good point.
Don't forget, Drew had to pick up and carry Evan Turner. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Evan Turner was the next one, bro.
My last one, I'm gonna go Pacer on Pacer. Mark Jackson, Halliburton.
Halliburton.
I'm taking Halliburton.
Yeah.
Damn, you don't think Mark Jackson was a good PG?
No, he was really nice and he was really good.
Dog
But-
teams. With
was
Reggie
good.
Miller.
There you go. Halliburton is the best player on the Pacers. Mark Jackson was not the best player on his Pacers. That was Reggie Miller.
Yeah, and I think what you did is you bounced between role players and stars, and that's where Halliburton sits, right? He's in between what a role player is. He's better than that, and then he's not as good as a superstar. And like when you look at Halliburton, this is the biggest problem with winning. And I hate this because it shouldn't be a problem with winning. But the biggest problem with winning is everyone gets overrated when they win. And this is the whole thing I have against Jason Tatum. It's not against Jason Tatum.
That's facts.
Like it's not against Jason Tatum, the player. I think he's a good player. I have him ranked 10th in the NBA. But like people overrate him because that Celtics team was so good. And like it's not like he's the best player on a really good basketball team. You had Jaylen Brown, Derek White, you like the whole team's loaded. Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford. Like those guys can be rotational players on any team in the NBA. And there's 7 of them on Boston.
Mhm.
So like Jason Tatum is great, but like he's in between like earth-shattering great and superstar. And like he's above the superstar, but he's not like LeBron. He's not KD. He's just not those guys. He'll never
More
be
on the
those
Scottie
guys.
Pippen inside.
So you say if you take Jason Tatum and put him on my Bulls, they're still gonna stay the same.
I think if you put Jason Tatum on the Bulls, they're a 5 seed. They get eliminated in the second round.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I just
Makes
feel like
sense.
that's what they are.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I think they'll be like 15 games better, 10 games better regular
Yeah.
season wise. I think that
Yeah.
they'll win an extra playoff series or 2. But like
Yeah.
if you put Jason Tatum on the Bulls, he's what, and I hate saying this, he's what Damian Lillard was on the Portland Trailblazers.
Right.
So
Somebody who can
I got
boost you,
something.
elevate you somewhat, but not to a championship level.
You guys got to remember, Andre Iguodala was once considered a top 25 player when he was on the 76ers, and they were playing in playoff series before. He was him and Elton Brand were 1 and 2 options, and we're like,
Oh,
stick-
don't forget you had Evan Turner as your 3 option out there.
bro.
Stop with Evan Turner. Stop with Evan Turner. Stop
Like
it.
that was the problem. That's what the problem winning brings is it overrates players. And it's the reason that we look at Anthony Edwards and we go, he's the face of the league because Minnesota's winning games. If they didn't make it to the conference finals last year, I promise you the Anthony Edwards for face of the league would not be as
A
loud.
thing.
Now, do you
Won't be
think
a
that
thing.
has to do with the market team he playing on? Because if he played on the Lakers or somebody big,
No, if he
They
played
could-
in the Lakers, he'd be even more overhyped. He'd be more overhyped. I think you got to judge him on his game, and I think Ant is in between being like I don't think he's a superstar, but I think they call him that now. I think he's on a trajectory where he can become a superstar. You just brought up Tatum. Anthony Edwards is naturally more talented than Jason Tatum. He might even have a little bit more of that gut thing that you want out of your star than Jason Tatum. But I don't think he's better than Jason Tatum. I don't think he is. I think that people want to believe that because they like him more. It's people have a feeling they're more drawn to Ant. They're like, he's that one, he's that next dude. I just judge you by how you play. We were just talking about how no matter what, we still felt Indiana and the Knicks was a 7-game series. Minnesota just blew the doors off of Oklahoma City. And I still feel it's not a 7-game series.
No, Thunder and 5. Yo, can I ask y'all a question real quick? Cormac, I don't mean to. I just want to ask one start bench cut.
Go ahead.
Can I do this?
mm-hmm.
And I want to project. I want you guys you got all basketball heads. You guys all watch the game of basketball. I want you to project next 5-year edition. Next 5 years. Start bench cut. Ant, Tatum, Luka.
That's really good. That's a
good
really
one.
good start bench.
That's a good one.
They're all young too.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make that great. Key, I know you in the chat.
Hey,
Make the graphic, put it on the page.
it's simple for me, man. I'm going.
Simple?
It's simple
Is it
for
really?
me.
I don't think
Because-
it's simple.
It's simple me for the simple fact that 2 of them is 2-way players and 1 of them don't play nothing but one side of the ball. And I'm not with that. I can't. It's not gonna do nothing for me. Like Jordan, Kobe, they could play both sides if they wanted to, but they had great defenders on there, which means they didn't really have to. But if Jordan needed to, hey, bro, nah, I got so and so tonight. Step off. Luka can't do that. Jason Tatum can play defense, and so can Ant. So I'm going with them 2, and Luka got to go because I can't do somebody who
You
just
got to
gonna
do it in
be.
order. You got to do it in order.
I'm going Tatum and Luka's cut.
So you're starting Tatum.
Wait,
Start
for the
Tatum.
but you're saying the next 5 years, not right now today. You're projecting, right? You
Yeah, for the
said-
next 5 years.
Right,
Like if
I think-
you start
I
the
think-
franchise.
I think that's different for the
Yeah,
next 5
yeah,
years.
yeah.
I'm gonna go Ant and then I'm going to go Tatum. I'm not taking Luka. I'm a Laker fan, and I know what Luka is. I don't think you can win a title with Luka Doncic. You can't. I don't
You
think
want
you
to
can
talk
win.
about stock dropping and
I
rising?
don't. No, I'm just being real. I've been.
I hear you.
I can't control the trade, but I know what he is as a basketball player. And they talk about him being in shape. He could be in the greatest shape in the world, but who he is in his game and that style of play, you're not going to win a title that way. He's got to alter his game. Like, look, in the end, Luka is just a right-handed James Harden. They do the same thing. They're dominant. They're dominant offensive players, but they do nothing on the other end of the floor.
Mo, I want to ask you a question real quick. I want you to go in your time warp and go back to 1 year ago today. The Dallas Mavericks were finishing off the Minnesota Timberwolves and about to head to the NBA Finals. And if we did this start bench cut, people would laugh and be like, "Oh, we're starting Luka." It's not like, what are we talking about right now? I'm talking about before the NBA Finals, before the trade, before this year.
He was just
going
like
into last year's NBA Finals, like literally.
When Steph got hit in that series when they was down 3-1, then they came back and they went to the finals and lost to LeBron. Guess what happened? They dog walked Steph. They didn't care who was guarding Steph. Hey, bro, you got Steph. We giving you the ball. That's what I'm doing to Luka, because Luka he's just not that for me. Maybe Luka when he first came into the league, because he was actually, trying to play defense and getting athletic. He's getting fatter and fatter. I'm not dealing with that.
By
the way, Gene brought up a great point. They just vaporized the Timberwolves last year in the conference finals, and he clearly outplayed Ant. Like, he outplayed Ant the way he outplayed Booker a couple years before that in Phoenix and talked to Booker's face. I'm not by any means saying Luka's not a franchise player. I'm just saying that I wouldn't pick him to be my franchise. But even when they won that series, I didn't go, they're about to go out there and take the Celtics out. I didn't feel that way.
I just did not win that series because he had great defenders around him.
He had great defenders around him, but he also had to play too. Like somebody had to guard him too. And we love Ant.
Be real. The Timberwolves ain't got much to guard on that team, so you could put Luka on the weakest offensive player, and we good, which they did when the Mavericks won. You put Luka on the weakest person. He's not guarding Ant. Not at any point. He will get dog walk. He ain't guard Tatum. He gonna get dog walk. But there's no point.
I gotta hear Will.
This NBA, that's the NBA, right? Because we hide Steph too. We hit hard too. We hide like think about it. If we say the top 3 players in the league, Joker's number 1. Joker don't play defense. Don't play no defense. And he is universally recognized as the best player. Right. That's my point. So maybe we overrate the two-way thing.
Carmack did not just say that. You did not.
I'm lying. I was potting there, but I might take Joker because of the simple fact that he could do anything and throw anything up, and it's going in the basket. It's weird, but go ahead, Will. My fault, bro.
Ant, Tatum, Luka for me.
Ant, Tatum.
All right. So I'll be the guy, and obviously you guys know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting Luka. I'm benching Ant, and I'm cutting Tatum.
Why are you cutting Tatum?
Because he's the only guy that cannot take over a basketball game. Of the 3 of them.
I've seen him take over a lot of basketball games.
If he's shooting,
if you're talking about playoffs, it's iffy with playoffs with Tatum.
But I think that I'll never forget this. And listen, I know I get hate for this. I understand I'm on Jason Tatum's biggest hater list. But I'll never forget, if you lined up the Boston Celtics roster that lost to the Miami Heat roster with Jimmy Butler, and you lined them up player for player, and you were like, this team beat this team. You'd be like, how? How? How did that happen? And it happened because somebody no-shows a lot.
I mean,
to be
fair,
talk
about Jimmy Buckets, though.
You can say the same thing about that Miami Heat team against the Milwaukee Bucks, and Giannis is universally considered top 3, and that team had no business beating that team either, and they beat them.
Though, Mo, the only thing you can say about that Milwaukee Bucks team in hindsight is that Giannis is great. There's nobody else on that team you're going to be like, oh, that's a dog. That's a guy.
No, he came up short. He came up small. Go back and watch that series again.
I know Giannis came up small, but he's the only player on that team.
But we don't give passes to guys like that. That makes it worse.
I'm saying with Tatum, you have Brown, you have White, you have Horford, you have Holiday, you have Porzingis, you have like Peyton friggin' Pritchard. You got everybody, the whole team.
You can name a list of players, but he had Holiday. He had a younger Holiday. He had Chris Middleton when he was an all-star. He had Brook Lopez. He had players. You couldn't even name anybody on that Heat's roster other than Jimmy Buckets and Bam. You couldn't recognize them.
They had Hero. They had Duncan Robinson.
They had Hero. They had Hero.
Did you just say Hero? Did you say Hero?
Hey, everybody needs a hero, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Hero when he was a zero.
Are you applying superstar status for Tyler Hero? Really?
Nah, man, nah.
I think that Jason Tatum is unique, and I get that everybody's not the biggest fan of his. Like I said, I think he's. I know Gene won't ever go to the Jason Tatum cookout, but I'll go. I think Jason Tatum's a unique star, and I think that sometimes he can be his own worst enemy with his shot selection, but I think he is a legitimate superstar.
I just remember after the Olympics, we were hearing, "Oh, thank God, Steve Kerr didn't play Jason Tatum. He about to go scorched earth on the NBA."
I just want to say I do want to back Mo on his Luka take. I kind of feel the same way on Tony Kukoc 2.0.
Bro, Yamper escaped. No one caught him. God, Pokemon. My bad.
So
I would have tried if I
I'm gonna start with Will on this one. Eastern Conference Finals, man, series game. Are you taking the 2013-2014 Indiana Pacers or are you taking the current Pacers?
Repeat that, please.
Talking about the PG.
Eastern Conference Finals. Are you taking the 2013-2014 Indiana Pacers? Paul George, Granger, Hibbert, or current Pacers right now in a 7-game series?
I'm going old school. I'm an OG. I'm probably the oldest one here. I'm going OG. I'm the oldest one here. I did like that team. That was Paul George before he got all in the podcasting. I'm the oldest one here. I know I'm
also before he broke his leg too.
Yeah, that's true too.
You said 4 times you're the oldest one here. How old are you?
53.
Are you really?
Yes, sir.
Well, you do not look 53, dude. Whatever you
where your gray hair at, man?
I got gray hair and I'm not 53. I
was blown away when he said that shit.
Well, whatever you're doing, God has blessed you. You don't look your age, brother. You look good. So good.
Thank you.
I thought he was younger than me. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thank you, fellas. But just for that and seeing that team and knowing the potential that team had, I'm taking the OG team.
Taking OG team. Mo, who you going with? 7 games.
I would take the older team because I think Paul George even then was better than Halliburton, and he was their best player.
Team as a unit. Who going to win 7 games?
I still think the older Pacer team was. But think about it. You said Danny Granger, but don't forget about David West. And that 2013 team that was within that small window when Roy Hibbert was an All NBA defender.
Tyler Hansborough was their power forward, wasn't it?
No, you talking about 13, 14. Granger wasn't even on the team.
But my point is,
he was on the team. My bad.
Roy Hibbert was the All NBA defender. I think he won DPOY.
He did. Well, he finished second for DPOI that year.
But he was the one that started the whole thing about what is it when
David West was on there? He was 44 years old. 44 years old.
He went
Yo, Siakam going dog walk him, man. Is he not?
Really? Because who was he dog walking in this series?
He ain't killing. Come on.
He had a big game, and then he followed it up with the dud he did last night.
G, who you going with, man?
I'm going with the current version of the Pacers. We know now, right? We know, and that's the whole problem that we know now. We know George Hill is a stiff. We knew Roy Hibbert was a stiff. Like David West was 44 years old. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get over the fact that I've seen what I've seen. Evan Turner was their second guy off the bench. Danny Granger was like 12 years old. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Andrew Bynum was on that roster, which is
He
hilarious.
was.
He only
was
played
on
like
that
what,
roster.
2 games?
He ain't played nothing.
But like the point being is like we know
Played
what
like
we
2
know now.
games.
I already know what I know now. I can't unsee it. Like George Hill, people thought he was going to be good back then. George Hill stunk. Roy Hibbert was an absolute liability when a coach figured out how to put him in space.
That'll be tough for Hibbert to guard Miles Turner on the perimeter.
Absolutely not happening.
I
And
mean,
it's not about Paul George is definitely
say it.
13, 14. Paul George is definitely better than current Halliburton. I'm not arguing that point. But what I am saying is I would say Naismith, Nembhard, Siakam, Turner. Like I like the overall group. And like we don't even talk about how deep that Pacers bench runs. Like there's like 3 or 4 guys on that bench that can play basketball at a serious level. Benedict Mathurin is going to be a future 6th man of the year. He is going to be instant offense for years. Like I just like the overall team. I'm not. TJ McConnell is a perfect backup point guard.
I'm about to say that. Yeah, I'm about to say that. Yeah,
I like the roster.
Yeah.
I like the team too, but basketball is played 5-on-5.
Right.
You can only have 5 guys on the floor at the same time. And while the 13 team didn't wow you, they were losing to LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. That was what they were going up against.
You're right.
These current guys aren't going up against anything close to that. Not even close to that. And they lost to that in 6 games, at one point in 7 games. So that's what they had to go through, and that's what stopped them from going to the finals. So as a collective, they're actually a lot better than people think. Man, remember, Hibbert was the one that made people start talking about the word verticality. Remember that? That wasn't even the thing until Roy Hibbert came on the scene, verticality. So I would say I would go with that team because I think they got a little bit more dog in them. They might not have more talent, but I think they have more dog in them.
Now, Gene brought something up that I want to talk about. You know, it's been speculation that they might try to make a world basketball league, right? But we got the Olympics of 2028 coming up. A lot of our OGs is done. They cook for this. So with the current people representing the NBA, you know, there's a lot more players that's outside the NBA that play for other countries that are a lot better. They're superstars right now in the NBA. Who are you taking into the 2028 Olympics as your start? I would just go with starting 5 from the NBA. Now they got to be from this country. Will, I'm gonna go with you. Talk to me.
They gotta be from
the
no
US.
foreign superstars. They gotta be all USA.
Yeah, you going up against the 2028 Olympics. We need players. Who you taking?
We need players.
There's no LeBron. There's no KD. There's no Steph.
Well, you just limited it to the youth of the league at that point.
So
Well, I
just
mean, we are because if you think about it, the 2028 Olympics is coming up. Who
I'll help you.
I want
Go
Brunson
ahead.
on my. I want Brunson on my team.
I do want Brunson.
I want Ant on my
Yeah.
team. I
I
want
want
Cade
Brunson.
Cunningham on my team.
Yeah.
I want
You
those
getting
three guys.
Brunson? You getting Brunson?
Hold on. Let's go Mo first. Go ahead, Mo. Give me your starting 5 going into the 2028.
I mean, I want Ant. I want Brunson.
All
I
right,
want
so that's your
Cade.
PG and shooting guard.
I'm gonna put Jason Tatum on that team.
That's it.
No shit. I thought it was hilarious that you waited till 4th to mention them.
Well, with the
And-
youth of the league,
and I'm-
that got
and
you
I'm-
now.
And I'm
Who's
gonna
the
go.
power forward and center?
We're playing positionless basketball, man. So we're not sweating all that.
Mo's got a
What?
point. Mo's got
are.
a point.
We're
Mo's got a
not
point. That's what
gonna
basketball
go
is
old
now.
school. It's spread out. So I'm gonna go with my best players, and I'll have Bam. Bam will be my center, but Bam's not gonna be my centerpiece. Like I need a big man that can get some boards, can block some shots, can run the floor. So I think Bam can do that. Bam's not a star, but he'll star in his role.
We talking about 2028, which means
So-
we're projecting 3 years
are
in
you-
advance.
So we talking about players that you think could win a gold medal, but going up against like Rudy Gobert in his country. You
I'm
got
not afraid of
Joker in
Rudy.
his
I'm
I'm not
country,
afraid
you
of
got
Rudy.
Luka
I'm not
in his
afraid of
You
country.
worried
Rudy.
about Rudy?
I'm not afraid of Rudy.
Dude. No, I'm just saying, as
Rudy.
far as a team, a collective, a lot of those players, SGA, Dylan Brooks playing for Canada.
Canada's gonna be a problem.
These players
Canada's
play a
gonna be
lot harder with
Mhm.
each other when it comes to country versus country.
I get it, but I still trust good old USA. I'll say this: the French team might be a challenge. It might be, but it's not because of Rudy. I'm talking about.
Nah,
I'm
it
just
ain't
talking
rude,
about.
but you
I'm
got
talking about
Victor.
Wemby. I'm talking.
That's what I'm saying.
No
You
doubt.
got
No
Victor,
doubt.
Real Bird.
I think guys like, and they got good role players too, like a vet like Batum and others. I get that. Look, if you're telling me that it's the world versus the USA, that it's harder because there are a lot of great. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm still taking USA.
Gene, who's your 5, man? If
I'm
you want to try to
starting
win a gold medal.
Kate Cunningham's going to run the point for me.
I like that.
And Edwards is going to run the 2. I got Tatum at the 3, Cooper Flag at the 4, and
You going
Chet
Cooper
Holmgren.
flag? Oh, flag already? He ain't even touched the
Flag.
floor.
It's 2028. I got 3 years. I got Cooper Flag at the 4, and give me
He
Chet
could be
Holmgren.
trash in 3 years. He going to the Mavericks too, probably, possibly. But you going flag?
Yeah,
Seriously?
I want Cooper Flag, and then I'm gonna load my bench with veterans like Tatum or not Tatum, like Brown. If I can get Kyrie still, I'll get Kyrie there. If I can get
Achilles injury, he ain't coming back for a while.
it's just 3 years from now, bro.
And
3 years from now.
He'll
Well,
be
coming up-
40.
I'm coming off the bench. I'm definitely going to have Halliburton. I'm gonna have that
Brunson, Hallie, I want all that.
But all right, so let me go with
Yes,
this.
I got Flag at the 4 and Chet Holmgren at the 5.
Let
Both
me
of
I'm
them
about to
play
say
international
Chet,
basketball.
let me ask you
took my
this:
5.
gauging the way stars are coming out of other countries, do you think that the 2010 Redeem team and the Dream team, do you think other countries will be able to compete with us still?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be the most competitive group that we're going to go against. I honestly, when you don't have leaders like Steph and LeBron to go out there and lead you through certain games, like you've not been in that situation right now. Like I don't think any of these guys. And if you watch this year's
I
Olympics,
mean,
if you watch this year's Olympics, you know that LeBron and Steph pulled them through the depths of ashes. Like they were done. They were eliminated twice.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's my point. I think it's going to be a very, very tough challenge.
so that is going to be a big struggle because they had veterans. Those 3 veterans, LeBron, KD, and Steph, they came up big in big moments, all 3 of them, and they're not going to be there. That leadership, the talent matters too, but that leadership, that does matter. It's going to be a really young team going forward, and that might be their disadvantage when the games start.
Let me ask you a question. Who's coaching? Is it Kerr again?
I
Bro,
doubt it.
I forgot somebody. I'm sorry.
I don't know who would coach that team.
I forgot somebody. 100%. I'm gonna make my stake. I'm gonna put my stake in the game. I forgot somebody.
Who you forget?
Cade's gonna play my point forward. We're gonna move him down to the 3.
Right.
My starting point guard is going to be none other than the next one, Tyrese Maxey. Do what you want to do. Fastest guy in the world.
Oh man, Mo, you got something to say? I see it. Go ahead, let it rip, man.
I'm just shocked it took him that long. Like he didn't even have him on the team at all.
Forgot about him.
Oh man, so
It's been a while since I watched Sixers basketball.
I'm a big Maxey fan, so I don't think that's a bad move at all. So you don't have to worry about me. I love Maxey.
Oh,
let's
What's up,
bet.
Erica?
Will
Look at groupies.
2012, 2013 New York Knicks versus current New York Knicks. Who you got?
I hate the Knicks regardless, so you can just pass me because I don't like neither one of them.
Gene.
Just go on past me.
The current Knicks are clearly better.
yeah. What are we talking about?
You don't believe in J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Carmelo Anthony?
I think you're giving me familiar names. The current Knicks are a much better team.
You just named the dumbest basketball team of all time.
That team went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They were
Man.
dumb. Carmelo Anthony didn't play the game right.
Basketball IQ
J.R.
wise,
Smith
you're
is-
stupid.
Still stoned. Like I don't even know how. J.R. Smith thinks the game's tied still. He's taking time out. I don't know what he's doing.
But yeah, if I had to pick a team, I'll go with current New York Knicks.
Current?
Oh, it's not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
current
You
Knicks.
know who the smartest guy on that team was? Raymond Felton coming off the bench.
Oh my
Ray
Lord.
Felton.
Well, not going.
Oh my Lord, this guy
Just say Raymond Felton.
Anyway,
He
hey,
did. He
Gene.
could run the point. He was the only guy on the team that
that
could
was
run the
funny.
point.
All right,
That
so I
was
want to get
funny.
to this subject, Gene. I'm gonna start with you. Is it time for the Sixers to give up on the process, man? Start building around Tyrese Maxey, because I'm hearing that y'all might trade to get either Laurie or KD and give up Paul George in the third pick. Is it time to?
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I'm done with the Sixers. If
Who-
they do not draft, I'm telling you, they make this trade for Laurie Marketing or Kevin Durant, I'm done. I'm picking a new franchise. I'm done.
Who wants Paul George to make this work?
No, it's the third pick.
No,
Oh,
that's the
the
sweetener
key.
right there. That's how you get rid of that contract.
That's how you
the
get
third
rid of Paul
pick.
George. Okay,
Right,
okay, okay.
No, there's absolutely it's time to give up on the process. And absolutely, you need to build the team young. Like, look, I'll tell you right now, I think that there's a guy, Cooper Flagg's best player in this draft. But the guy that has the highest ceiling is Ace Bailey. He's going to fall into your lap at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Coach him up and let him play with McCain and Maxey and get rid of these decrepit guys that can only play 35 to 40 games a year. I'm done. If you look, Paul George said this on his podcast, and I give him credit because the guy's going to take his job. But he goes, Ace Bailey is my favorite player in this draft.
Mm.
And I think Cooper Flagg's obviously more polished. He's a better basketball player. But raw talent, give me Ace Bailey.
Mo, talk to me, man. Is this something the Sixers should do, man? Should they trade for Laurie?
No,
Should they?
no. Daryl Morey should do the smart thing and draft Ace Bailey. You have your 3 right there in McCain, a healthy McCain, Maxey, and Ace Bailey. What you need to do is put together packages that get rid of Embiid and Paul George. Lose those 2 deadweight anchors around your franchise's neck. And trust in Maxey. Matter of fact, the threesome I just named, that's where the league is. That's where the league is. You got to let that go. Somebody will take Joel Embiid because nobody's never going to question his talent. So somebody will take him. The harder person to move will be Paul George because of the size of that contract.
By the way, which one of y'all Pokemon fans? Is it you, Carmike, or is it you?
Not me.
It's me.
Nimble escaped and no one caught it.
I'm sorry.
What's going on right now? He'll be letting Nimble escape.
You threw me off track a little bit, man. Will,
I'm sorry.
Sixers.
I'm not doing
Are we
that.
still trusting the process, man? Or are we getting rid of this process?
I'm getting rid of that process. I'm going with Ace Bailey. I got him going to the Sixers too from that draft. He gives you the most upside, and it also helps the Sixers get younger. And I've been agreeing with Mo this whole time through. Embiid needs to go. Someone is going to believe in a 7-footer. Somebody's going to believe in that. So he's going to be the easiest to move. Get rid of Paul George and move forward.
Let's take a step in another direction. Mo, I'm gonna start with you on this, man. Pro Football Focus has named AJ Brown as the #1 receiver going into the season, man. How you feel about this?
He's a terrific receiver. I don't think he's the best receiver in football, but if somebody told me he was top 3, top 5, I'd be like, yeah, I'm right. But I think I wouldn't have him #1, but I don't think that's a crazy take. I just don't agree with it. How about that? Because I respect him so much as a football player and what he does on the field. He's a unique combination because he's a physical receiver, but he has the speed to get deep. And he's a great route runner. So I'm not trying to shortchange him.
You are shortchanging. Let me give you the top. Let me give you the top 5. Let me give you the top 5. AJ Brown. You got Jay Jetta. You got Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, and Puka Nacua. Top 5 receivers going into the league.
I think Amon-Ra and Puka might be a little too high. I'm good with Jetta, but I don't understand. I don't like that 5. Who put that together?
That's Pro Football Focus, man.
Oh,
hey, AJ Brown is Mr. I'm always open.
Wow.
Are we looking from a football standpoint or from a fantasy football standpoint?
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
That's from a football standpoint.
Okay.
They're not doing it fantasy wise because statistically, AJ Brown wouldn't even be in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't be.
No,
If you
let me ask this. Nobody knows more about Eagles football than Gene. And you're a lifetime Eagles fan, no doubt about it. Do you think AJ Brown is number one?
absolutely not.
Who you
No.
going with number one?
So first of all, and it's the whole thing, right? I have AJ Brown 4. That's where I have him, and it's not disrespect to him. It's just I have Jettas and Jamar Chase, depending on the situation that they're in, 1 and 2, and you can swap them around any way you want. Jettas is your route technician. He is going to be getting himself open. Jamar Chase is your mixture of speed, physicality, and jump balls. And then the third receiver, I think that's better than him, and it hurts my heart to say this. You can tell how unbiased I am by saying this. Is CeeDee Lamb.
That is unbiased. Yeah. But
Very
CeeDee Lamb,
unbiased.
but CeeDee
Very
Lamb is a
unbiased.
dog. But I like that list. That makes sense to me. And I'm not a fan of the other guys that were on there. They were just too high.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I think he's a very good receiver, but he has easily become one of the most overrated receivers in football now. People have him in their top 5. You're not watching football, man. This guy is part of a Ben Johnson offense that allows him. Like, let me ask you a question. Go pull up the Amon-Ra St. Brown highlight reel. Go pull it up. Show me his amazing contested catches. Show me the catches and where he catches the ball, like his hands are like jumping off the page at you. He's a very good route technician that gets open and catches the ball in open space and runs with it.
Will
He's terrific.
Would you say he was in? Would you put him? Would you keep him in top 10 though, Gene?
Yeah, I mean he's probably bottom half, top 10, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10. But I'm taking Puka over Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Agreed.
So Pro Football Focus said that AJ Brown, he dominates defensive backs across the board and it says single coverage. This is single coverage. 1-on-1s is what they grade these wide receivers on, and AJ Brown has the highest average against single coverage in 2024. He can win against any defense, is what they're saying. It don't matter. For the past 3 seasons, I believe they gave this dude a 97 grade. He's a dog, man.
I mean, he's great. I just don't think he's better than the people I have listed ahead of him. And look, you can say he dominates versus single coverage, Carmike, but just as well as I do, he's never seen single coverage. He sees it maybe 4 or 5 plays a game. Like he's getting double.
Well, I don't know. I think he got a lot of single coverage due to the simple fact that Saquon was dog walking people last year, man. They had to load more in the box, or you was getting ran through. So he's seen a lot more single coverage last year.
Go watch the Eagles tape. I'm telling you right now, they only switched that single coverage in the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers started it, the Rams did it, and then the Commanders and Chiefs did it. They were not playing single coverage versus him all year. You look at the Eagles game tape, they have 1 high or 2 high every single down. They only started loading the box at the end of the year because they're like, Jalen can't throw. We're going to load the box. I guarantee you look at the game tape, it's single high and 2 high safety every play.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that a little bit, but do you think if Saquon wasn't there, he'd be still having the same he was getting double covered on the Titans, but he was still dog walking people, was he not? Besides him getting hurt, other than that,
here's the way I want you to think about it, right? Who's a more dangerous running back weapon, Saquon Barkley or Chase Brown?
Of course, it's Saquon, but
okay. So let me ask you a question real quick. Who has a better offensive line, the Philadelphia Eagles or Cincinnati Bengals?
Ain't no question.
Okay, so if we have no offensive line and no running game in Cincinnati, and Jamar Chase is still leading the league in receiving yards, and they know the ball is going to him every play, like we talk about AJ Brown being doubled 75 to 85% of his routes. You know what I mean? You know the percentage of routes that Jamar Chase is doubled on? 110. It's more. They got triple coverage on sometimes. He's almost getting the Megatron treatment over there.
I mean, he do got a great running mate. Another dude on the other side that's getting close to 1,000 yards receiving.
AJ Brown's got a nice running mate.
He do. But AJ Brown was still also a 1,000-yard receiver on the Titans with when Derrick Henry left.
I'll take Smitty over T. Higgins.
Just for the
and I like T. Higgins.
just for the record, Carmike, on really bad teams, they have leading receivers too. I'm just saying, like on really bad
Oh,
teams that are
man.
behind a lot, you're gonna have a leading receiver too.
All right, let's talk about this, Mo. Entering this season, they're both in their 8th year. Who got more pressure into they need to get to a Super Bowl and possibly win one? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
I feel like it's Josh Allen, but it's by default because my gut instinct tells me Lamar's not going to a Super Bowl. So I feel like it's Josh Allen because I think there's a higher belief point in him. I think there's bigger expectations from him between the two players. Like Lamar's going to come out next year, let's say barring injury, because you never know, and he's going to put up massive numbers. Like we're going to be talking about Lamar being MVP again. He might even win it. But I'm going to trust that Josh Allen has higher expectations. If Josh Allen were to win a Super Bowl in Buffalo, like what it would mean there, like he would because of what they've never done. I do think the expectations are higher for Josh Allen. Maybe the pressure might be even higher. I'm not anti-Lamar Jackson. I just don't think he carries the same pressure that Josh Allen does.
Will, who got the higher pressure, man? Who should win a championship this year? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson?
I got Lamar with the highest pressure. He's got 2 MVPs. He's got to justify that at some point with a Super Bowl ring. He's got to justify it at some point. And with the way that team is set up, yeah, you can make an argument receiver here, receiver there, but to me, Lamar's the guy with the most pressure.
Gene, the genius. Talk to me.
This is not even close. Anybody that like really, and I don't mean to listen, no disrespect to anyone else's take. It's Lamar Jackson. It's not close. Let me ask you a question real quick, Carmike. Give me one position on the football field. One position on the football field.
Give you one.
That the Buffalo Bills are better than the Baltimore Ravens. Receiver? No. Running back? No. O-line? No. Defense? No. The Baltimore Ravens are better across the board at every position on the football field. The guy won 2 MVPs. They're better everywhere. It's Lamar Jackson, and it's not that close.
Man, I don't even see that. I feel like Lamar Jackson is like the Luka of football. There's gonna be a lot of numbers. He's gonna have a lot of success. He ain't gonna win no titles.
I just think that you have to justify your MVP status as some, and you got to, and Mo from what you, if he wins a third, and he still doesn't, no, it's Lamar.
I think that actually hurts him because I feel like when he has these great seasons and they get to the postseason, he locks up. He's not the same player in the postseason.
Gene, I'm gonna start with you on this one, man. Mister, I won 7 Super Bowls, man. What do you think Tom Brady's career would have been if he would have played in the 80s?
First of all, I hate these comparisons. He'd still win 7 Super Bowls. There's nobody that prepared better, that knew what the defense was running more. Listen, Tom Brady is, if you were like talking to a person that wasn't loaded with talent, they were like, how can I make it in the world? Just tell them to watch a Tom Brady interview, because Tom Brady shows you that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I'm not saying Tom Brady's not talented. You have to be talented to make the NFL. But does he have the best arm? No. Like Tom Brady, is he the most athletic? No. Tom Brady studied and read defenses better than anyone and did whatever it took to win. If it meant throwing the ball 7 yards down the field, 7 yards, 7 yards, 7 yards, 7 yards, he would do it. If it meant checking to a running play, he would do it. He did not care about stats. He cared about winning. And when they gave him a number 1 wide receiver, what did he do? He broke the passing records. They gave Randy Moss. They didn't win, though.
But in the 80s, Gene, you do know quarterbacks, there was no rules like that. You was getting folded up in the pocket.
And
folded.
And you're telling me a guy that played in New England in 10-degree temperature would not be able to adjust to physical atmosphere of football? That's like telling me LeBron couldn't play in the 80s. He's the most physically gifted person I've ever met in my life. And you don't think he could adjust it? You don't think that Michigan toughness could have came out of him? I don't agree.
So we're doing a hypothetical, though.
Mhm.
He ain't winning no 7 Super Bowls in the 80s.
But he's winning, though.
That's hypothetically not realistic. Like Carmike said, there ain't no grabbing the quarterback. They was knocking the side out of quarterbacks. You're not playing 17, 18 years. He's having a completely different career. Wide receivers was getting beat down at the line of scrimmage. There was no pass interference. Like, he's not having that career. You can tell me how hard he works. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think Dan Marino worked hard, never won nothing. John Elway worked hard, didn't win nothing until late in his career. And you're going to tell me one of the least athletic quarterbacks in the history of football, who's maybe faster than a broken leg turtle, is going to survive in an era where quarterbacks were getting suplexed. Now, he might be successful, but he ain't winning 7 Super Bowls. He might win 2. It's a completely different kind of football. The LeBron thing is different because he is a physical specimen. I get that. But Tom Brady is just a normal man with a normal body. He's not playing 17 years. He's not dominating that league. That's a completely different league.
Yeah, I gotta give you the 7, but he's still winning.
17 years.
He's not getting the benefits of what was that? It's still the dumbest call in the world. What is that call that they cheated the Raiders out of? He's not getting that. In the 80s, that's a fumble like it should be. That's a damn fumble. He's not getting that. Now they might still try to cheat with cameras, but back then the cameras were like this big. Well, it'd be a lot harder. It'd be a lot harder.
Well, is Brady getting to 10 Super Bowls and winning 7 in the 80s?
No, but he's still gonna be successful and win 2 or 3 of them. Just off the fact that
3.
he'll get 2 or 3. He'll get 2 or 3.
Man, he's not feeling what y'all saying.
At least Will being realistic.
He'll get 2 or 3, but he's not gonna win. He's not gonna be the success he was before he retired in the 80s. That was a whole different era of defense. Then the quarterbacks are not protected like they are today. He'll get 2 or 3, but he won't be as successful as he was before he retired.
That is true. Receivers was getting folded up as soon as you come through the middle. It was over
No,
with.
it wasn't just before you got to the middle.
You
You were allowed to grab them.
You were on the
If you
line.
were stronger than Mel Blount is in the Hall of Fame because he beat the hell out of wide receivers at line of scrimmage, and it was legal.
Yep.
Gene, you disagree, man? You know,
The only thing I'll hear the pushback on is Mo said something that I didn't really think about. He probably isn't going to play 17 seasons in the 80s because of the way they beat up on the quarterbacks, and I agree with that. That makes sense, and I'll accept that pushback. But I still think he'd have one more than Montana. 5.
Why we hating on Joe Montana?
Little side shot.
Why we hating on Joe Montana? Hold up. Why we hating on Joe Montana?
Because look at his background, Will. I'm taking a little side shot.
That's
so you think
hilarious.
Montana, his whole success is
Gene,
Oh,
Gene
man.
Gene is wild. He's wild.
Oh man.
It's our respect. It's our respect.
Of course.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are winding down, man, and it's been a great morning. I'm glad Gene has popped up in here with us, man. It's been a pleasure, man, hyping the show up. You got Mo always here. Will, man, appreciate you too, man. Gene, any closing remarks for our people?
Nah, have a happy Memorial Day today.
Yeah.
If you can spend time with some family or cook out or do whatever you need to do, but enjoy it. Enjoy the day. Day off of work for most of us, so enjoy it.
Will, closing remarks for our people this morning.
Yes. Thank you for having me here again. Once again, fellas, I do appreciate that. Don't forget, we are doing the Sports Report podcast tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Wild Wild Sports. Don't forget to check us out.
And if you mow better, you'll do better. Close us out, big dog.
Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us on this Memorial Day. Make sure you check out all the great content we have at Wire to Wire Network. Wire to Wire Network, we appreciate you.